I don't know. What do you want to talk about this time?
I don't know. You pick something. I've been
Well,
leading.
I want to start with, so for the first time ever, a couple episodes ago, I admitted that I had hemorrhoids, and I've never said that publicly. And then I kind of panicked after I said it, but I was like, whatever, it's out there now. And like, hemorrhoids is one of those things that
It's super common.
nobody talks about. And so I just want to say this. So because I said it publicly and now it's out there, I found a really good cure for hemorrhoids. So I always use, like, you know, suppositories, preparation H, and those types of things. But the other day I used something that my dad's girlfriend gave me. She gave me this bottle of colloidal silver. It's like just one of those things you can spray it on your joints, you can spray it on your skin. It's for pretty much any type of ailment. And so I tried it on my hemorrhoids and it worked really well and they went away right away. And I haven't had to use it again.
But here's the thing though, like, this is why, like, it's so important to talk about the difficult and embarrassing things, because we can learn from these things.
Yeah.
But instead we just shame ourselves and like, you know, put our head in the sand and act like it's not happening.
The last time I had a bad hemorrhoid situation like this, I was down for like 3 or 4 days because it was so bad, and I was using, you know, the suppositories and preparation H, which I'm pretty sure were making it worse. And then in the end, I ended up trying the colloidal silver, and it helped, but in my head, I was like, oh, it was all the other stuff I already used that helped, not actually the silver. But this time, that's all I used, and I was back. I was literally within 10 minutes, I felt amazing. And usually hemorrhoids is like a 2-3 day thing for me. Like, it doesn't always make it so that I can't walk, but
and the great thing though too is if we all just talk to each other a little bit more about like things like this, and then when natural solutions come up, and then you don't have to put all those awful products on your skin that are actually making things worse than better. Because like the preparation H stuff, we were just talking about this, and this is just like, I haven't researched this or anything, but so a hemorrhoid is essentially your blood vessels are swollen, and then they protrude through the skin because the skin there is soft. So there's steroids in preparation H to bring down the inflammation, but when you apply those things continuously or ongoing, or if that's like what you use all the time, steroids are actually really bad for your skin and thin out your skin. So then it's like, well, yeah, it brings the inflammation down, but it's also making the area more susceptible for breakthrough hemorrhoids.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. And I didn't know that, and so now it's kind of like I do have to look into that to be like, whoa, like all the stuff they give us to fix hemorrhoids actually make your hemorrhoids worse. And
well, there's a lot of things that we take unknowingly that make a lot of other things a lot worse. And, you know, if we just took the time and looked into more things ourselves, there would be natural remedies for it.
Yeah, and so there's my
including what's happening going on in the world right now too.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I'll just say, ivermectin, yes, it's a horse medication, but there's also an ivermectin that is a
human grade.
So people need to stop with the horse memes and bullshit and just understand that ivermectin is actually a drug that won a Nobel Peace Prize in 2015, and so.
But people are probably like panicking though, because it's not readily available to people, and so people, like, there are probably some people that are, you know, unfortunately uneducated and think that horse warmer will fix them.
Yeah,
and that's sad.
And apparently some people did do that. They took horse dewormer and got really sick, but you know what? Like, if the news had properly promoted ivermectin working the way that it actually does, then not all of these people would have been forced to go try to find it themselves and accidentally use horse stuff. So get it fucking through your heads that, you know, mainstream media
is not all it's
the worst.
It is the worst. And, you know, they put out a lot of false information themselves. Or they'll put out just enough information for people to take it and run with it and make assumptions and make the wrong assumptions. It's like they give you enough information so that certain people will take it and spew out the wrong information on it. Mm-hmm. And then they don't actually have to be complicit in spewing out actual lies. Everybody else just does it for them.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah,
you know, like they put out little
tidbits
tidbits of information and they're like, okay, watch this person. They're gonna take this and run with it. And they do, you know. Mm-hmm, hence the whole animal dewormer, horse dewormer. And like, and the people like, well, let's say it's horse dewormer, like, all I have to say is the people that believe that, like, you are part of the problem.
Yeah.
Because you're not looking past your own 2 front feet.
You've been played. Yeah. Like, all the people, like, making fun of that, like, you just showed me that you don't know how to look anything up. Like...
And that you will literally just believe everything that you read.
Yeah. So...
And that's kind of, yeah. It's a scary world we live in now. Like, it doesn't seem like there's any black and white anymore.
I know. And the worst part is, like, you can look up anything and verify it one way or the other. Because so many people lie for money. Mm-hmm. And so many people have a really hard time discerning for themselves what's right and what's wrong. Mm-hmm. Because we haven't been taught that. We haven't been taught to do that in school. In school we were taught, follow the government, pay your taxes, do what the teacher says, you know. And so, yeah, we were never really taught how to critically think. So that's why so many people, unfortunately, are so fucking dumb now. I shouldn't say it like that because that's mean, but wake up, y'all. Wake up. Please. Wake up.
Yeah. It's just like people just don't want to. And like that's like the environment and the culture that we've created ourselves is that we don't look into anything ourselves anymore. We just blindly follow. Mm-hmm. Like, congratulations, social media.
Yeah.
Like, that's the worst part is that we've all dumbed ourselves down. Mm-hmm. Or not all of us, but there's a lot of people that are just
like, there's a lot of really smart people that I thought or think are very smart, intelligent people who just get played by the media and get played by the government. And it's like, can't you just...
But you know what though? Here's kind of like a thought for me on this is it's a lot easier just to, you know, listen to the media, listen to what they tell you have to do to keep safe, because anything else requires work and commitment. And unfortunately, you know, people don't want to work any harder than they already are, and they don't want to, you know, look into anything because they have their reasons or excuses or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's just we're lazy. Like, we're lazy. Society is lazy now.
Yeah.
And even, you know, like, we talk a lot about health and we talk a lot about, you know, weight, and people think that we're fat shaming. But the reality is it's a true pandemic. Mm-hmm. And if you look back at like pictures of like 60s and 70s and even like 80s and stuff, you know, when you look back, you don't see a lot of obese people.
No.
Or overweight people, because they were more active. But the more technology, the more dependent we get on technology, the more complacent and lazy that we get. And like, that's what we're teaching our kids, you know. And this is something that I was thinking about too, is, you know, a lot of people, you know, are on the body positivity movement, and that's great. Great. Mm-hmm. Love your body. Love your body. I understand that it changes. But there's nothing wrong with recognizing that your body has changed, and there's nothing wrong with not liking it. Mm-hmm. You know, and people might think that, you know, I'm not ignorant, maybe arrogant, because I do have a slimmer build. And I don't get me wrong, I understand that, you know, there's thicker bodies, like there's thicker boned, just like animals, there's thicker animals, you breed them that way. Mm-hmm. Like, depending on what you want or like what you're doing. Like, I understand that people too, like there's just people that have bigger bones. that's not, like, those aren't the people that, you know, I'm ragging on. It's the people that are blatantly just not taking care of themselves.
Yeah.
And it's not fat shaming. If anything, it's like, it shouldn't be called fat shaming. It should be called health shaming.
Yeah, we're health shaming. It's not fat shaming.
Well, it's not even shaming. It's just trying to bring people's awareness to, like, the real issue at hand is our health. And, you know, I said, like, people might think that I'm arrogant speaking because I do have a smaller frame. But that doesn't mean that I haven't had my own, you know, weight struggles. And with that also being said, like, it's not really necessarily about the number on the scale. Like, the number on the scale isn't really anything. It's like how my clothes fit, how I look. And, you know, when I take care of my body and when I treat it well, I feel better. Because your brain is also directly linked to your stomach.
Yeah.
And all the micro, I'm going to completely butcher this word, like your micro,
Microbiology?
Microbiomes? Biomes? Anyways, all the bacteria in your stomach, like, it's linked to your head. So, like, when you take care of yourself, you feel better and you start looking better, and then you gain your confidence from that too. Like, I'm not saying you should get all your confidence from that, but, like, if you put on your clothes and they fit nice, it's like, yeah, okay, cool. But, like, if you put on your clothes because you've gained some extra, I'll just say, I'm not going to say weight, I'm going to say because you've gained some extra fat because you're lazy, or you're not eating properly, then you feel shitty about it. And then it's like, well, you know, clothes are designed to fit onto us. We're not designed to fit into clothes. But, like, if that's been your size for so long and then you gain some weight, and I have gained some weight. I've gained, like, there's been times where I've gained weight. And, like, this whole, like, fitness and health journey started for me, like, before COVID actually started happening. And then as that, you know, it showed up and it was here to stay, it really, and, like, the type of people that are getting sick from it, it's like, okay, I see, like, we're just so unhealthy that basically anything, like a cold, could kill you.
Isn't that pathetic?
And overburden the healthcare system.
Yeah, like, obesity is the thing that's overburdening the healthcare system, not anything, like, yeah, there's other things, obviously, but yeah, obesity is the pandemic, you guys.
And here's another thing. So many people have been talking about it. So many people have been like, well, you know, the magazines, you know. As soon as people start realizing that those types of people are fake and are bought bodies and photoshopped and actually just downright horrific human beings, like like Hollywood is the devil. That is Satan. That is Satan's playground. And when you realize that, then, like, you won't compare yourself to another celebrity in your life once you realize the corrupt evil that is. But you know, people talk about, you know, their parents, you know, fat shaming themselves. You know, we're in that generation right now, you know, like, oh, I gained some weight. But what did they do about it? Like, I know my mom had an unhealthy obsession with being as small as she could be. And that's what I mean. Like, when you are healthy, like, and you are working out, like, you'll gain muscle, so you will gain weight. So that's why I said, like, it shouldn't be about the scale. But I know my mom had a healthy obsession, and it was like she was constantly in competition with me. And I understand that when you have kids, your body changes. When you get older, your body changes. But there's a lot of people that have been in the best shape of their lives. They're in better shape than they were when they were in school because they take care of their body as an adult. But, like, the body shaming, you know, the parents body shaming themselves and, like, we want to do better and set better examples. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's not talk poorly about our bodies.
But let's be realistic
about our bodies, and let's do the things to improve our health. Like, moving our bodies. And the thing of it is that if our parents would have, you know, been like, you know what, I've gained some weight and I'm not comfortable with it and the way they talk about themselves, but if they went and did something about it, that shows initiative, that shows discipline, which is what we need in this world. Like, we need our parents setting good examples for our kids instead of being like, you know, setting good examples, eating healthy, exercising. And if you exercise and if you're taking your kids for walks, it's a better quality of life for your kids too. Because you're taking them to the park. You're more of an active parent with them. You're probably going to be more, you know, up to, like, take them skiing or, you know, cross-country skiing. Or because if you are a fit, healthy person and you're active,
then you want to
do activities. You want to do healthy activities instead of, you know, complaining about it and posting a picture in a bikini when you're clearly overweight and unhealthy and saying, I'm doing this for my daughter to show that meanwhile, like,
your daughter's just seeing you make a fool of yourself.
Well, your daughter's just seeing that you're okay with, you know, like being overweight and unhealthy, and that's the standard that you're setting for your child. And when a lot of these, like, the rise of obesity in children too is something that should be alarming to people.
Yeah, like Remy, my daughter is always like, because she's going through it, because she has, you know, there's all different sizes of kids in her class, and so one day she said to me, like, she said something like, I feel fat, or I'm fat, and I said, Remy, you're nowhere close to being fat. And she's like, well, this person is fat. And I said, well, yeah, that's a fact, but you can't be mean to them. And she's like, well, I never want to look like that. Well, and I said, Remy, if you started to gain an excess amount of weight, I would tell you, and we would eat healthier. We already eat really healthy, like we eat salads, vegetables, all that kind of thing. Every once in a while, we'll have a Delissio oven pizza, but for the most part, I make sure that we eat lots of healthy foods. But we talk about weight and how, yeah, if I was gaining weight and getting really fat, I would want you to say, like, Mom, are you taking care of yourself? And just the same way, if she was getting, you know, real big in the neck, I would say, like, Remy, are you eating too much sugar or something like that? Like, and that is not a bad thing. That is a necessary thing for health, because, you know, you should control what you eat. You should be aware of what's going in your body. And, you know, just a few weeks ago, I went to go put on pants that always fit me, that didn't really fit me, and I thought, oh yeah, you know what, I have been, you know, excessively indulging in things I shouldn't. Like, I went to Bulk Barn and just went crazy and, you know, bought a bunch of chocolate almonds and all these things.
But that's the thing, though. Instead of, like, putting on those pants, being like, these are fitting a little tight, and, like, you know, thinking like, okay,
but I'm gonna wear them.
No. What I mean is like, oh, well, you know, I gotta love my body, and, you know, I'm not meant to fit into these clothes, so I should just go get new clothes and embrace this extra weight. No, it should be like, you know, I've been shitty lately, and I should clean up my diet a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you'll save money too. Imagine that.
I know. Like, all that chocolate was expensive, and so then the next day I went to Superstore and I bought a bunch of salad and vegetables, and my bill came to like less than $40, and I'm like, man, it is so cheap to eat healthy. But then again, I didn't buy any meat. I think meat is really expensive, and I don't eat it very often because it doesn't make me feel very good. But at the same time, when I don't buy it, I'm saving so much money. So, but that's, again, like, just accountability, responsibility. Oh, my pants don't fit? I'll just wear them to show the world that I can wear them anyway. No, like, no.
Or toss them or throw them away and go get new pants because love my body.
No.
Like,
I am responsible for my weight. I am responsible for my body. And, like, when people say, oh, you're fat shaming me. Hey, that's your body. That's your choice. That's your body. You made those choices. Like,
and what you put in your body and how you treat your body. And that's the thing too, like, it's the quality of life too. Like, I don't get why, like, people get so, like, offended. Like, I don't, like, yeah. Like, if you're an overweight person and you're happy with how you feel every morning, please let me know.
But see,
because I don't think there's anybody that's like, I'm overweight and I'm happy about it. Your joints hurt, like, you're at risk of high blood pressure, you're at risk of diabetes, you're at risk of heart failure, and, like, the biggest killer in life is your heart. And what's the biggest burden on your heart is being overweight and eating poorly. So it's respecting your body and your environment that you're living in.
And that's what I love about us, is because, like, you know, if I go to you and I'm like, oh man, I feel like shit. Like, I hate people who are like, oh, that's too bad. Oh, what's wrong? Oh, well, let's go eat a cake and we'll be okay. Let's go out and do this. We'll be okay. No, when I say, oh, I feel like shit, she says, well, what did you eat? Well, what did you do? Did you get enough sleep? And it's like accountability.
Yeah.
But people don't do that for each other anymore. No. They're just like,
because they're scared to tiptoe around their issues.
Yeah.
Like they're scared to talk about the big, huge elephant in the room.
And no offense, but you might be the elephant.
But, like, recognize that.
Oh, Oh, sorry. It's not fat shaming. It's just be responsible and accountable for your own fucking body and health and mental health. Because again, if somebody makes a little bit of a fat joke and it destroys you for the whole day, it's obviously something that bothers you. Why aren't you taking care of it? Like,
and that's like, how much time do we have left?
We have no time, but go ahead. It's okay. It's still going.
We'll talk about it on the next one. It's going to be a part 1 and a part 2.
Part 1
because we're going to talk about like a lot of the excuses that we hear on why it's so hard to take care of yourself.
So tune in next time. Subscribe and turn notifications on.
Yeah.